There's no shortage of things to see and do in San Francisco. On my latest trip, I had 48 hours to revisit some of my favorites, enjoy some new experiences, and see for myself whether San Francisco has succumbed to urban decline as some media outlets would have you believe. Spoiler alert, the San Francisco I experienced was lively, vibrant, and absolutely worth visiting. My first stops included the very touristy but still iconic Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39. Pier 39 is a waterfront complex with shopping, dining, and entertainment. I wouldn't come here for the food. Save your appetite for much better restaurants in the city. But it's absolutely worth a visit for its colony of California sea lions. Watching them can be very entertaining. Plus you get great views of the bay and Alcatraz. Fisherman's Wharf is, in my opinion, a fairly tacky tourist trap, with overpriced chain restaurants, museums, souvenir stands, and an observation wheel. But it's one of those places you should see at least once, and it is famous for fresh seafood, including clam chowder in sourdough bread bowls. It is a super touristy thing to do to come to the Fisherman's Wharf and get a sourdough bowl of chowder, but there's a reason people do it, and I'm looking forward to digging in. About a mile and a half southeast along the waterfront is the ferry building on the Embarcadero. Historic streetcars run along this route, and there's a new outdoor art installation, a pretty stunning 45-foot tall steel mesh sculpture. Inside, the ferry building is filled with shops and restaurants where you can grab artisan chocolates or some coffee or espresso. This is also where you can catch a ferry over to Treasure Island. So I'm on Treasure Island. I took the ferry over from downtown San Francisco. Thought this would be a great place to put the drone up, get some aerial footage of the city. It's one of the few spots where you can legally fly, but as you can see, it's way too windy for that. So a bit disappointed I can't get that drone in the air, but really gorgeous views of the city across the bay. Got Alcatraz in the distance, and if it wasn't covered in fog, the Golden Gate Bridge. So worth the trip. Ferry rides like 7-8 minutes, and it only costs $10 round trip. So really, if nothing else, if you wanted to get on the water, get on the bay, and you didn't want to pay for an expensive cruise, it's a nice option. Much of Treasure Island is being redeveloped, so if this is your first time to San Francisco, I'd skip this and instead head over to Golden Gate Park. Bigger than New York's Central Park, this place has everything from museums to gardens to biking and paddle boating. In my limited time, I chose to take a tranquil stroll through the Japanese gardens and enjoy a matcha and a treat at the tea house. There is an entry fee, but I think it's well worth it. Across the street from the west end of the park is Ocean Beach and the Pacific Ocean. I love the ocean, so I'm super excited to be able to spend even just a few minutes here staring out at the Pacific. There's a large beach right across from the edge of Golden Gate Park. Honestly, it's not the prettiest, not the nicest beach I've ever been to, but to have a few minutes just to stand here and listen to the sounds of the ocean, it's very peaceful, very zen. My next stop was about 2 miles from Golden Gate Park, and I was ready to hop in a car to cover the distance. And for this trip, I chose an option that's kind of an adventure in itself, a Waymo self-driving car. I did a whole separate video on this experience, which I'll link to. The short version, this is a must-try and feels like science fiction come to life. For some beautiful views of the San Francisco Bay and the Golden Gate Bridge, come to the Presidio. I'm pretty close to the visitor center here. They've got a wonderful park, a nice place to just kind of relax and enjoy a sunny, beautiful afternoon. As you make your way back to the bay from the Presidio, be sure to check out the Palace of Fine Arts. Not a whole lot to do, but pretty amazing to see. My final adventure took me back to Pier 39 for a bay cruise on a catamaran. There is nothing like gliding across the water, pushed along by the wind. This cruise with Adventure Cat was a fantastic way to get out on the bay, spot some whales, and get up close and under the Golden Gate Bridge. A few parting thoughts. If you're considering San Francisco but are concerned about its reputation, the San Francisco I experienced was vibrant and lively, offered some amazing food and entertainment, and was absolutely worth visiting. Yes, it's a city and has to deal with issues that all cities face, but it is far from the worst depictions you may have seen. So go and experience it for yourself.